Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to show you guys a defense that I've been messing around with because I've been trying to come up with a good defense that can reliably counter Bonnie teams, especially those Bonnie Niru Siren teams that I've been showing you guys a lot lately because they're really strong, and I see a lot of different versions of Bonnie teams out there. So I wanted to come up with something that could hopefully counter a majority of those. But anyway, we're going to hop into our friends list and pull up our dueling formation so we can check this team out. And then we'll also check out some fights that I did with this team on defense. Now, it is hard to actually test on defense because you have to, ask somebody to run whatever against you and all that kind of stuff. So I want to say thank you, Swampy, before we even get started because he did a bunch of testing for me. Anyway, the team that we're running is a Taylene, Ludovic, Callan, Siren, Bonnie team. And the reason we're running Taylene in the back is because of the way Bonnie works. And to understand how to counter her, we're going to kind of talk about her aging debuff and her dot damage. And the way you activate it is by you target the rearmost hero with her, so that puts the aging debuff on that hero, and then you need two other allies that do magic damage to hit that hero also. And once they've done that, they'll have two more stacks of the aging debuff, and it will activate the dot damage, and it'll also spread to two other heroes. Now, the only other way to make that damage or that dot damage spread is by killing a hero, and since Taylene technically never dies, she's not going to spread the dot damage to more than two heroes because she only has the one way of spreading it. And then those heroes who get it are going to they're only going to be able to spread it when they die. So in this situation here, Taylene will get the dot damage on her. She's going to spread it to Callan and Ludovic, and then they're going to be able to tank it for quite a while, buying your Siren and your Bonnie hopefully enough time to do all the damage that they need to do to kill the important heroes on the enemy team. Now, a lot is going to depend on how the offensive team is positioned and things like that. So if you're up against an opponent that is really smart and knows what they're doing, they'll probably be able to figure out a counter to this team. It may take a few attempts or something like that, but they might also get frustrated and stop attacking you. So anyway, let's talk about some replacements first, because not everybody has Taylene, not everyone has Callan. So yeah, now if you wanted to, you could put Freyesto in Taylene's place. So you could do something like this, put the illusion as the rearmost hero, and then line up the main body in the same column as the illusion, so they get a shield at the start, just gives them a little more survivability. This can slow down the dot damage from spreading a little bit, but Taylene's better in this situation. Now, if you don't have Callan in this situation, you could also put Thorin in. So where's my Thorin? So there's Thorin, and you could connect him to Freyesto, something like this, because Callan is a hero, or not Callan, Thorin is a hero who you need to kill 3 times. So for Thorin to spread the dot damage, you have to kill him a lot. And if you, now, actually, this is another really good team idea I think that I just had. If you put Callan back here connected to Thorin, because Callan is another really good candidate to give the Bonnie's dot, or to be Bonnie's target. So if you had Callan back here, he'd be able to tank a lot of the dot damage. He would allow it to spread to the Ludovic and the Thorin, and then, like I just said, Thorin would have to be killed 3 times before he spreads it to anyone else, and Ludovic is able to heal up through the dot damage. It does take a little while for him to die from it, so you buy your Siren and your Bonnie quite a bit of time, actually, to do damage and stuff like that. So yeah, this could be another pretty good solution. However, the only thing you're risking is if the enemy team uses a Siren, your artifact's not going to come into play, and then your Bonnie's dot damage won't activate. So if you're going to run this, I'd probably swap Ludovic out for Niru. That way you have another magic damage source. But that's why I had Taylene back here, because if you have Taylene back here, she's a magic damage dealer, and her Flamepire skill does AoE damage, and it's almost guaranteed to hit the rearmost hero. So that's why I wanted to have Taylene back here. Also, if you don't have Callan, but you do have Taylene, you could just use Thorin and put Thorin in front of Taylene. That would also work. But anyway, let's go check out some fights that this team did and see what we were able to beat. All right, so Swampy did a bunch of testing for us, so thank you very much, Swampy. I really appreciate you taking some time out and doing these tests for me. Anyway, we can kind of just hop in here and check out some of these teams that he was using. So here's a Igor, Citrana, Bonnie, Siren, Lily May team. This is a very strong team in a lot of cases, but we were actually able to get the win. So let's go ahead and hit replay and see what happened in this fight. Looks like Lily May's the rearmost hero. Tayleen's going to get hit by the Bonnie. You can see the dot damage is on her, and it's spread to Ludovic and the Callan, but they're barely taking any damage. And we get our Callan roar. We're killing their team, and we just have the Igor left, and I think we're going to be fine getting through him. So I don't think he's going to be able to outlast us, especially with Siren getting an ult off and insta-killing him. That really helps. Siren can be a really good solution to Igor's, because sometimes Igor will just jump into his black hole and insta-kill himself, so it can be pretty good. Anyway, let's check out some other teams that they were using against us and see what we can see what worked, what didn't work. And this is another Igor, Ludovic, Lily May, Bonnie, Siren team, so it might have been different positioning. Let's see what he was running down here. Igor, oh, this is a Citrana one. Let's go with, let's check this one out, because this one is Igor, Niru, Citrana, Ludovic, and Bonnie. This is a common team I see a lot, and it's pretty strong. It's really heavy on the dot damage, plus the Igor's there to prolong the fight and stall it out. And if you can beat this team, it's a pretty good, your team's pretty good. So anyway, we got our dot damage activated. Siren gets his ult off and gets some kills. And then there goes the enemy team. That one didn't take too long. That was actually really solid fight. Let's pull up some other ones. Let me kind of scroll through these and see which ones we really want to check out, and I'll be right back. All right, so here is a Shamira, Callan, Niru, Stitchy, or Damon Ludovic team. So this is a pretty strong Shamira team. I've seen other people run teams like this and have pretty good success on offense. So let's see how our team handled this team, because this is not a Bonnie team, it's a Shamira team, and if Shamira gets her ult off, we're in a lot of trouble. So let's see. Plus Callan and Ludovic providing a lot of damage reduction and healing can really slow down how quickly the dot damage does what it needs to do. And as you can see, we were able to kill that Shamira pretty quickly. Now, not always is the Shamira going to be, I think the Shamira was positioned to be the rearmost hero in this situation, so it might not have been the best positioning on Swampy's part, but even if Shamira wasn't the rearmost hero, she'd have gotten the dot damage activated on her pretty quickly, and it would have been devastating. I don't think she would have gotten to her ultimate. So it's a pretty good team against certain Shamira teams. I'm sure there's a Shamira team combination that would beat this one. It's just a matter of finding it and testing it out and finding the right positioning, because that's really what defense is all about. It's all about, testing all the stuff and everything like that. Now, we did get beat by some stuff. Let's see what this one was. This is a Niru, Ludovic, Siren, Shamira, Callan team. All right, so I think that's what we just fought, but maybe they positioned the Shamira differently. Okay, so Callan is the rearmost hero. So I talked about using Callan as the rearmost hero against Bonnie in yesterday's video, and it can work pretty well because Callan can tank a lot of damage. And as you can see, we lost a lot of our important heroes there because the Siren was able to pull everyone in, and we didn't really. There's the Shamira's first ultimate. So really, the Siren was what took us down there. His ultimate was able to insta-kill my Siren and my Bonnie, so that didn't work out too well for us. So yeah, a lot of this is going to come down to how smart your opponent is on offense and how well they know to position heroes and things like that. So you got to keep that in mind. Let's see what this one was. No, let's not watch that one. Let me scroll through here and look for some other teams. All right, so here is a really good team. This is one of my favorites. It's Niru, Ludovic, Citrana, Siren, and Bonnie. So let's go ahead and replay this one and see what happened here. So we've got, let's see, how's he got his heroes positioned? Looks like Bonnie's the rearmost hero. So in this situation, it's not the best idea to have her in the back row. I'd probably have Ludovic back here on this type of an offensive team. But as you can see, we got through that team really quick. That worked out really well for us. But yeah, I would say you probably don't want Bonnie as the rearmost hero if you're on offense and you're trying to fight against a Bonnie defense. That doesn't usually work out too well. Let me find another team that we can check out. All right, so the last team that we're going to watch, or the last fight that we're going to watch, is an Igor, Lily May, Bonnie, Pandora, Siren team. So I haven't seen this fight yet, so I'm not sure how they position their heroes and all that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and hit replay and see how this one went for us. And then we're going to call this one a video because it is starting to get kind of long. So anyway, looked like their Lily might have been their rearmost hero, and she just went down. Siren. Now, one thing about positioning a hero like Lily May as the rearmost, she's untargetable at the start of the fight, so the Bonnie's dot target is going to be the next rearmost hero. So you got to be careful if you're using a hero like Lily May as the rearmost hero. And yeah, we were able to take that team out pretty quickly and not too bad. So anyway, I guess that's going to be about it for today's video. I just wanted to show you guys this defense and also just talk about different strategies and kind of like tips and tricks and things you can use if you are being bombarded with, you know, Bonnie teams on offense, or even on defense. If you're seeing a lot of Bonnie defense teams, you just need to be smart about positioning your team and putting your tanks most likely in the back row. So anyway, loot bar link down below, Discord link down there, and if you can, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. I really like brownness, yeah. It's yummy. I play games with y'all.